পাকিস্তানের ইসলামাবাদে চলছে যুক্তরাষ্ট্র এবং ইরানের বহুল প্রতীক্ষিত বৈঠক। স্থানীয় গণমাধ্যম বলছে শুরুতে আলাদা দুটি কক্ষে এই আলোচনা শুরু হয়। মধ্যস্থতাকারী হিসেবে দুপক্ষের সাথে কথোপকথন চলছিল পাকিস্তানি কর্মকর্তাদের।
দর্শক, এ বিষয়ে আরও তথ্য জানাতে বার্তা কক্ষ থেকে আমাদের সঙ্গে সরাসরি যুক্ত হচ্ছেন আমাদের সহকর্মী মোর্শেদ হাসিব।
হাসিব, এই বৈঠক চলছে এবং এই বৈঠকের আপনার কাছে কি তথ্য আছে?
বৈঠকটি চলছে প্রায় 3 ঘন্টা সময় ধরে। বৈঠকের এই মুহূর্তে আসলে তারা নৈশভোজের বিরতিতে গেছে, যেমনটা আপনারা বলছিলেন যে প্রথমে নেগোসিয়েটাররা কথা বলে। নেগোসিয়েটার কথা বলার পরে মার্কিনীদের তরফ থেকে জেডি ভ্যান্স ভাইস প্রেসিডেন্ট যোগ দিয়েছেন। আপনারা জানেন যে মার্কিনীদের যে ব্যবস্থা, সেই ব্যবস্থায় ভাইস প্রেসিডেন্ট সর্বোচ্চ ক্রিটিক্যাল সিদ্ধান্ত নিয়ে থাকে। ফলে এখানে যে আলোচনাটা হচ্ছে, সে আলোচনায় যুক্তরাষ্ট্রের অবস্থান তুলে ধরা এবং আরও যেটা প্রয়োজন সেটা তারা যেন পিছিয়ে না পড়ে, সেই জায়গাটা তারা চেষ্টা করবে। আপনারা জানেন এ বিষয়ে আমাদের সাথে বিভিন্ন অতিথিরা এর আগেও নিউজে যোগ দিয়েছিল। এই বিষয়ে আমাদের সাথে এখন যোগ দিচ্ছেন পাকিস্তানি জিওপলিটিক্যাল এক্সপার্ট আয়েশা গাজী। আসসালামু আলাইকুম and hope you're listening to me. I'm audible?
Yeah.
So it's been almost 3 hours. They have taken a break, and what do you think this dialogue is leading up to? Are we going to have maybe a peace, or we'll fall into the fight again?
Look, we are sitting there. Obviously, everybody is sitting there. They have come all the way from Iran and US, and Pakistan is arranging all of this with a hope for a peace. If there was no hope for the peace, there was no point to arrange all these negotiations and everything. So there is a hope, obviously, and the most important thing is, even if a war goes on for 100 years, end of the day, everybody has to come to a negotiation table to end the war. So why not in the early stages, when damages are still controllable and the chaos hasn't spread all across the South Asia and beyond that, obviously. So there is a hope. If there was no hope, because earlier there was a stage when both sides were reluctant to come over. Both sides have, obviously, there is a trust deficit on both sides. Even till today, when they are sitting on the negotiation table, from both sides we can hear voices that there is a lack of trust. There is a lack of, obviously, there is a deficit in some sort of, trust in the intentions of the other party. So still, despite that, both parties agreed to come over, and then there was a time when we were, listening from all around the journalistic sources that at the last minute Iran has backed off or US has backed off, but it didn't happen. Both of the parties came
Right.
on the set date. So there is a hope for the peace. They are sitting, and you know that the talk has resumed, and there is some chance, if they do not come to any conclusion right now, the talk will go on till tomorrow. So we can just hope for the peace.
Right. So Pakistan is having quite a leverage because the army chief is quite praised by the Donald Trump, and as well as Iran, they depend on Pakistan. So Pakistan, do you think there is this leverage or this trust on the nation can be utilized to, I wouldn't say the bow down from both the Iran and US side, or rather come to a considerable position where the war can be stopped, and maybe they come up with 6 months or 8 months plan, stuff like that? And that's first part of the question. The second part of the question, while we've been discussing this and the dialogue is going on, we see the Israelis has been attacking on some part of the Lebanon as well. So, simultaneously both scenes are going on. How this can come to an end?
Look, I'll answer your second question first. There are factors on both sides that had been, I won't say they are very open or they are overt factors. I would say they are covert factors who had been trying to sabotage this whole process of peace process, not just today, not just yesterday. Since the beginning, they had been trying to, lit the fire a bit more higher than it was. And if, as you see, it is not just with what Israel is doing right now. They have attacked Lebanon again, and they had been, they had never talked about peace. Well, we do not expect any peace talk from Israel. That is the bone of contention. But there was, from both sides, there are some factors who really somehow wanted the war to go on. We don't know if they are the people who had been installed by the war mechanism, or because in last year when there was an attack on Iran from Israel, we got to know that there are Israel's agent very penetrated very deep in Iranian decision-making apparatus. So on the other side, we know that the other side, U.S. policies are mostly controlled by Israel. So we know both sides there are some factors. Despite these factors, if the peace talk is at this stage, so there is at least some hope. So it means we can still go ahead with all these factors. And the second thing, both sides will bow down to each other. That is, I don't think it's about bowing down because, the Donald Trump, even today, when the peace negotiation is still going on, people and the parties are sitting together for a conversation, he still said, well, otherwise we are ready. So that is the message from U.S. that otherwise we are ready, and that is the same message from Iran as well. If you listen to Iran and its its spokesperson, we get the same message from there as well. If they do not come to any conclusion together, there is a war is just imminent. So it is not about bowing down. But as I said earlier, even if you fight for 10 years, that's exactly what happened in Afghanistan as well. That's what happened in Iraq as well. Even if you fight for 10 years or for 5 years, for 20 years, end of the day, all the wars come to a conclusion on a negotiation table. So why do you want to destroy everything before coming to a negotiation table? When there is a chance, when Pakistan is playing such a big role, it is very big responsibility that Pakistan is taking. Pakistan is at very high risk. Outside the war zone, Pakistan is at the most, Pakistan right now is at the most high risk area on the globe. So Pakistan is taking all this responsibility for whole of the South Asia, not just for the South Asia, but for all of the continent and beyond that, wherever the war implications will go. So if there is somebody who is giving you a chance to talk, why not, come to the conclusion right now?
Right. In very short, the last question is, how do you see the silent role of China and Russia?
China and Russia has always been, obviously, whenever it will be about South Asia, whenever it will be about this whole belt there where we are living, whenever there is about oil, because Russia is an oil supplier as well, and China has a very big role in stability of South Asia so far. Any ongoing war, it was Pakistan and India war, it is Pakistan and Afghanistan war. China had a very important role to play. Along with these negotiations, there was a 7-day negotiation between Pakistan and Afghanistan right now happening in China. So it didn't get obviously so much mainstream attention because there was a war going on in here and Pakistan was busy in this negotiation table. But China was still playing its role. And there in Iran and US war, obviously, the main aim for US is to contain China somehow in this region as well. And China is not going to sit back. And then, as you see, when there is an oil shortage, that is an opportunity for Russia. And US will not like to provide any further opportunity for Russia or China to strengthen their economy any more further or have their good relations or their diplomatic hold in this region. So obviously, they are a very big factor, and that is not negligible. And they must be playing some covert role in these negotiations. We don't know.
Thank you so much for joining us. দর্শক, যেমনটি আমাদের অতিথি বলছিলেন যে চীন রাশিয়ার যেমন একটি সাইলেন্ট রোল আছে, তেমনি যুদ্ধ যদি তারা আরো সামনে এগিয়ে নিয়ে যায়, বন্ধ না করে, তাহলে আসলে কেউই লাভবান হবে না, সবাই ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত হবে। আমরা চলে যাচ্ছি মূল নিউজে।
হাসিব, আপনাকে ধন্যবাদ।